very, very, very prosperous market for those who are investing and those who are trading long term. So to see a major drop like this with many people in their accounts, they get a little bit nervous. So what is the sentiment behind this, right? So currently right now I'm watching the futures market. Like, just to give a recap, the market dropped 1,000 points, which is a lot. And if you guys do anything with technicals, even myself and some of our students, we were talking Sunday evening about the market and the things that's actually happening. Probably the last 2 or 3, there were gap downs in the market. So what do you mean by gap downs? That means that the price dropped significantly, right? So like, for instance, say a stock is at $20. Then in the morning, it gaps down to $18. So you have a $2 gap. And usually it takes some time for that gap to get filled. So that's what the market has been doing for a period of time, has been gapping down, then actually filling that gap, which is really kind of unheard of in the, right away. But we've been in such a strong market. Today we had a significant gap down in the market, and we're all wondering what we'll see if it's actually going to recover and come back higher. So how can you look at it? What can you say, or how do I view this market? A lot of stuff right here in this market, you really have to be patient, and you really just have to wait to see what takes place. Because even in this particular market, we have been shocked at the recoveries of the market. We have been shocked a lot about how certain things have been recovering much faster than usual. But what has led up to this? First of all, of course, we know about the virus that's going on, the coronavirus. And we see a lot that has been happening with the future side of the market. So if any of you guys follow the Profit Room, we trade all markets, right? We trade futures, Forex, stocks, options, things of that nature. And on Sunday evening, the futures market gapped down very, very, like, it usually gaps down. Like the other day, other week, Sunday, it gapped like 60 points and recovered, but it gapped over like 150 points, 140 points. And we caught the trade. We made some amazing money on that trade and throughout the night. So for those who just really are new to trading, even though the stock market opens up at 9:30 in the morning, you still have these different sessions overnight. You have, of course, the Asian sessions, you have the London session, and that kind of gives us a foresee of what's going to actually happen during the New York session, where primarily all of us do trade. And during that session, there was a major sell-off. Of course, Italy is affected now with the virus. They're shutting down some governments, buildings. They're actually shutting down schools. We also need to understand a lot of the retailers, Puma, Nike, a lot of them, manufacturers are shut down in China. So it's getting this global effect that's affecting all these markets, right? And then it passes on to us, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, things of that nature. So one thing you can look at in this market, and unfortunately, not many people are technical traders. You guys are fundamental, which is cool as well. One thing you need to always remember, human emotions always outweigh historical data. When I mean historical data, I mean as certain things that you expect or anticipate to happen. Like, we are technical traders, right? We trade based off of levels, and majority of the time these levels work out and they play out for what we anticipate to actually happen. But when you actually in a trade, and something emotional happens in the trade. Now, when I say emotional, that means like something like a virus or something of that nature that can throw off some technical levels, but it'll eventually go to another level, if you get what I'm saying. Fundamentally, that can shift a lot. So fundamentally, we shouldn't be in such a long-term bullish market, fundamentally speaking, because there's bull and bear markets usually every maybe 5 to 7 years, sometimes, whatever the saying is going. So when you see something like this drastically happen, is multiple things that you can do. You want to sit back and wait to see if there's going to be what we call follow through or continuation. Currently, we close today on a very strong, what we call fear bar. That's a strong sell bar, right? And what happens with that, it can be continuation of selling. It could be continuation of selling. So the beauty behind learning how to trade and understand the markets is waiting for confirmation to enter and also waiting for confirmation to sell. So at the profit room, we're never going to tell you, okay, now it's time to buy. This is a great opportunity to buy, right? Or this is a great opportunity for this. As traders and as investors, when you get to a certain point, you have to sit back and observe what's going on. There's always an opportunity to get in a trade and make money, right? There's always an opportunity, but you really have to realize what situation you're in. So it's just like a boxer or a fighter, right? You have to understand the opponent that you're dealing with. You got to see the weaknesses, right? So in the market right now, it's currently extremely weak. It's a lot of emotions going on. So when somebody's emotional, right, it's hard to deal with them. You got to wait till they calm down. Then you can focus on what you plan on doing. Now, this doesn't say that you can't not make money in this market. There's people now that are saying there's so many stocks on sale. There's so many stocks on sale, right? This is a perfect time to buy. It's a perfect time to buy. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. I trade and our students trade based off of confirmation. We base our trades off of confirmation, right? So we look and analyze. And currently right now, there is no confirmation that something is going to reverse tomorrow. Maybe it will, right? Maybe it will, but there is no confirmation. Right now, we have a strong sell below some nice historical support areas that we finally breached. That's why I said one of the biggest sell-offs in like 2 years. So if we stay under these levels that we breached, we may see some anticipated follow-through going lower to the downside, right? But tomorrow could be a whole different story. If we get back above some of these levels, right, then we may be in a situation where we can anticipate that the market may go back higher and continue this bullish run. But you need to wait and see in order to determine where you may go. If you like trading like that or investing like that, that's what we like to do. We want more of a higher probability of a trade than just to jump in something based off of that. And that's where this market is going to test a lot of individual skills and knowledge of the market. So this is our market. If this market turns red, you will see us thrive like no other. Believe me. If this market turns red, and we do not wish it to turn red. We make money on both sides of the market. But this is our market. This is our market if it happens. And believe me, you will see it. This is our market. I can speak with conviction, not confidence, with conviction. This is our market. And so that being said, train your eyes and your mind to be able to trade both sides of the market. Make sure that whatever you see, right, you trade what you see, not what you think. And fear brings that in the market. So I'm gonna give you a prime example. Is both ways. You know, you go to a funeral, you start crying. You go to a party, you start having a great time. So even if you feel any type of uncomfort, maybe if you're long term, maybe if you're short term, you can put your money on the sideline and just wait. Just wait. And that's what trading and investing education does for you, because you don't have to have that anxiety, right? You don't have to be antsy. Like our students last night, every Sunday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, we meet with our students. We have a Sunday study session. We do Zoom. We go over charts just like this. Every one of our students was anticipating what happened today because we went over it last night, and they were able to protect themselves. And some of them already seen it for themselves. Like, hey, I'm noticing this happening. I'm noticing that happening. So I'm gonna wait on this and I'm gonna wait on that. Perfect, 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 right? So when you see stuff like this, make sure you follow the news, of course, you know, CNBC, Bloomberg, all of that. We are emotional people. We are emotional people. The market is emotional. And I can't stress it even more about that. The market is emotion. And this may not qualify for those who are super long term, right? Let me give that disclaimer. Those who are super long term trading and investing for long term. But if you're getting close to near the retirement, you have to stick a little bit closer to what we're actually going on in the market. Our whole goal at the Profit Room, and this has always been, we want individuals to be able to make those same retirement profits that's sitting in, you know, grandma and grandpa's piggy bank when they reach their late 60s, to be able to make those same returns when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So a lot of this information I'm saying to you is for those who are currently trying to be active traders and investors. When I mean active, I'm talking trading from a day perspective or trading from a weekly or monthly perspective. So an active trader can be someone who swing trades. That's in a trade from maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and they're bringing in income. All right. Another thing how you can handle this market condition is book profits much faster. So ideally, a lot of people post, when you see in these different rooms and groups, they're posting some amazing profits, and I celebrate everybody that does it. But the bottom line is, if you're consistently making money, right? If you're making $200 a day or something like that, that's great money, right? Almost 48, 50K a year, amazing profits. Trading should be more about freedom than the money. And I'm gonna explain that to you as well. A lot of people who trade and they make great money aren't free, right? They aren't free, because you look back and you see, you know, you can make $2,000-$3,000 a day. 1, 2, 3. That's great money, but some of them still aren't free. So your whole goal when you're trading, you want to get to that freedom. When I mean the word freedom, I mean that you're able to consistently make profits, that you're your own boss, you're your own person, your own entrepreneur, if you choose that, because you don't have to be in the market every single day. Some people just want to make a little bit money, you know, to pay for vacation, car, or something in that nature. So in a market like this, right, if you're used to getting $300, $400 a week, you know, if you're getting 200, be satisfied with it. if you only know how to trade a certain way. If you're used to getting $1,000 a week, you get 500. Be satisfied with it. Your whole goal is consistency as a trader. You want to be able to be consistent, bring the money in, right? The less you're in the market, the better. So you can gain that freedom. That's the whole goal. You want to be able to gain that freedom. And that's what we teach our students no matter what. Sometimes when you aim high, you may hurt yourself financially. So you want to be able to aim in a way that you may push even higher. You know, that's the whole goal, that you may even push even higher. So don't be afraid of this market. Make sure your mind shifts, that you can see for yourself, because there'll be a lot of people giving you some ideas and suggestions, and you'll never see a post from us telling you when to buy or when to sell on a public forum. Our internal rooms, we trade with our students all the time because they know how to trade based off of what we taught them. But just be careful, please. The narrative has always been on social media. The people will tell you certain things and they'll walk away. And just because they seem like a great trader, they seem like a great investor, maybe that advice isn't for you. Maybe the advice isn't for you. Don't hurt yourself financially, guys. Don't hurt yourself financially. All right. So we're not going to keep you long. I just wanted to mention that. Also, we do have a live class coming up. I'm going to talk about that. Kevin should be able to put in a post. We have a live stock and options class. And this will probably be one of the last ones for a long time. So, of course, please do your research about anything before you sign up. The beauty behind our live classes, just to let you know, it'll be taught by Latoya and I. And for the price that you're going to get the class for, nobody's giving anything that cheap. And I don't want to use the word cheap to degrade it, because as you see, when you ask our trading rooms, we make great money trading live, period. But our whole goal is to educate people, and we know that everyone can't afford a one-on-one session, right? And we know that everyone can't just learn something in one day, because you're not going to learn something in one day. You're not. Study shows when you go to webinars and stuff for one day, you are not going to learn as much as you can, because your mental capability will not be able to digest everything. We have, I believe it's 4 to 5 weeks, I have to double check, where we'll be sitting with you, giving you instruction on the stuff that I just mentioned to you. You will learn the technical analysis. You understand the fundamentals of behind the markets, right? We will draw out our levels on the charts, and we will answer all your questions that you need, right? You will get the support, and we have live trades. The live trades that you see us post, we have those as well, explaining why we got in and why we got out, both with stocks and both with options. And throughout that course, the Sundays that we meet, you will receive homework. And that's what we're offering people. So if you want to take advantage of that, the link's in there. Kevin put the link in there so you can check that out. All right. So just a reminder, it was a crazy day today. Make sure that you just stay alert to what's actually going on in the market. It's not hard. Focus on the different CNBCs, the Bloombergs, whatever apps that you're on. And most importantly, learn how to make the decisions for yourself. If this market does turn bad, if it does an unfortunate turn, you do not want to be left out. You do not want to be left out. You want to be able to take advantage of this market on both sides, the bullish as well as the bearish side. But remember that You always want to remember that. Be able to play both sides of the market. All right. I'm just see if somebody had any questions about anything. You're gonna reach out or whatever. That's cool. That's no problem. All right. So just like anything else, we hope you guys have an amazing night, and we talk to you soon. But in the meanwhile, in the meantime,